This week, Future finally addresses the beef with Kendrick and Cole, and Apple names Kendrick Lamar the best rapper of 2024. Let's talk about it.
The STEM Society.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. Episode 71 is live. This is a middle of the week episode, which I have been not doing. I have been putting out one episode. I'm trying to go back up into doing 2 episodes again because I really enjoyed doing it, but I didn't know if people would really get with the content. So fuck it. I seen some news stories. I decided to turn on the camera and decided to talk to you guys. So let's get into the news.
Music news.
Apple has finally put out their best of list. They're doing the best of 2024 list. And to no surprise, it looks like Kendrick got Rapper of the Year for 2024. And as much as I want to applaud Kendrick, I think he did great when it came to the battle. I think he did great putting out songs. I think he did a lot this year. He ain't Rapper of the Year. I'm sorry. I cannot sit up here and say he's Rapper of the Year when he dropped no album. And I think that's a personal preference, but I think that's a preference that matters. I can't give Kendrick Lamar Rapper of the Year because he's got the hottest song that still slaps. I'm sorry, not like us still slaps, like that still slaps. He's got a song that slaps, but he has no album. And I think we've been giving people too much credit this year for covering the battle. Academics got Urban Media Guy of the Year from Complex, and I think a lot of that had to do with covering the battle between Drake and Kendrick. That's bullshit too, if you ask me. My argument is the body of work is nothing but beef songs and maybe a couple of side songs that he did. I have to make the argument for Future. Future put out 3 albums, 3 solid albums. He put out 3 solid albums. They all did wonderful. He gave us the content that we knew he could give us. And he has been consistent all year long. I think that when you look at Rapper of the Year, I think that you have to give somebody who put out albums more of a look than you do somebody who just put out some beef songs. Not taking away anything from Kendrick's lyrical ability, because as a lyricist, I think Kendrick destroyed everything. But when it comes to Rapper of the Year, the criteria has to be a little bit better than just that nigga hot or that nigga popular and all this other bullshit. Future put out 3 solid projects. I just can't take that away from him. And I know I'm arguing in an Apple list. What do they really know about hip hop? Absolutely nothing, because they are really just picking things to be popular. In some areas of the world, like Joe Budden podcast, they feel like it may be a slight against Drake. I'm not into all that politic bullshit or conspiracy theory bullshit. If it's a tech beef, then it's a tech beef, and I'll read about it later on. But when I'm thinking about real hip hop shit or real rap shit, Future put out 3 albums that were consistent, that were solid, that was great content. He did what he had to do to be the best. And I feel like the argument should be there for Future to be Rapper of the Year for Apple. It just makes more sense to me than just sitting up here. We're giving somebody credit for beefing that have, like, real hip hop fans know that he been throwing shots at Drake for 10 years. I'm not going to give this man credit for something that he has been doing for a very long time. I'm going to give someone credit like Future. I could even make the argument that in this short amount of time, Tyler, the Creator, dropped one of the best projects of the year in Chronocopia. And in this short amount of time, he has covered a ton of ground. He could possibly be up for Rapper of the Year. Better late than never. I think that Chronocopia is a very amazing project. I think he put out something that was very valuable to hip hop and the hip hop space. I think he really showed how he could work with other artists, because when you look at the feature list on that album, he's working with people you never thought he would work with. It's a very great showcase of what he can do as an artist. Not saying that Kendrick's not doing that, but we really are giving Kendrick a lot of credit for being on a bunch of beef records. And yes, did we bob our head? Man, yes. That shit was slaps. Those were slaps. But to be able to give him the title of Rapper of the Year, now you're kind of reaching and you're kind of looking for clicks and likes and popularity. I'm sorry, that's just how I look at it. There's no body of work there. Were the diss songs enough to be an EP? Yes, of course. But it's not an album. That's not giving me another side of him outside of a beef, bro. Like, it's ridiculous that Apple Music did this. And I think it's the dumbest shit that they could have ever said or did. In my eyes, I just really feel like you can't just give somebody Rapper of the Year off of just knowing that they have popularity on their side. And again, I'm a Kendrick fan. Love Kendrick. I think Kendrick did a great job this year. I don't think he did enough to be Rapper of the Year. I'm just saying, when you put his body of work of 2024 up against what other people have done, other rappers have done, that list don't look too hot. That list of shit don't look as good as somebody else's resume. That resume looks cool. It's cool because he did cool shit and he went against one of the biggest artists in the world. But that's not Rapper of the Year material to me. And I love Kendrick. It just don't fit what the criteria is in my eyes. Apple's doing this shit for popularity like every other list they did it this year. They have been wrong all year. I'm waiting on Complex list to drop. I'm waiting on all of these other hip hop media sites list to drop to make him number one because he went against Drake. I think that's the wrong angle to take when it comes to crowning the Rapper of the Year. I just don't like the fact that we're doing this and not giving credit to people who actually took time out to craft an album. They took time out to make a body of work, took time out to actually promote an album or albums or the things that matter. Y'all are doing a lot of this shit off of popularity, and it looks real pick-me-ish to me. I don't know. I might get some flack for what I'm saying, but I do believe in what I'm saying. If I had to pick Rapper of the Year, it would be Future. And don't worry, because I'm going to put out my list of Rapper of the Year. I already put out potential MVPs earlier this year. You can check that video out if you want to see who I was looking at for potential MVPs. But I will be putting out a video for my MVP of 2024. And I can go ahead and tell you right now, it ain't Kendrick. It's not Kendrick. I'm sorry. I just can't go with Kendrick being Rapper of the Year. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Tell me how you feel about who's the Rapper of the Year and who Apple picked as their Rapper of the Year. So Future actually finally addresses the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, and I think it's fucking hilarious. So Metro Boomin and Future actually appeared on the Men of the Year issue of GQ, which is, I think, print only right now. I haven't put that out on digital yet, which is weird. I don't know why, but hey, okay, GQ, do what you want to do. But he finally addresses the beef with Drake and Kendrick, and it's fucking hilarious. Here's the quote. "There was a beef. I didn't even know there was a beef. I didn't know they had nothing going on. I ain't never participated in rap battles, man." And then they say he has this smirk on his face. He goes on to say, "I'm supposed to be the one who gets mad. I'm still confused about that. Nobody cares what I think. That's what's so fucked up about the shit. To the point where I'm so player, I ain't even said anything about how I feel about it." That was what he said in GQ magazine. It's funny because he's addressing this beef like he was chill on everything and he was cool. He was like, "Oh no, man, I didn't have anything. I didn't know nothing about that. I'm chill on that." When the whole first album was a Drake diss. You trying to tell me that you didn't know Metro Boomin using those Prodigy interludes was not talking about Drake? You're trying to tell me that this whole album about not trusting somebody was not about Drake? Get the fuck out of here, bruh. Stop playing with us. I think it's hilarious that Future is playing stupid, even though I think he knows a little bit more than what he's letting on. Now, I haven't read the full article yet. Nothing but snippets have come out on social media here recently about the article. Because, again, they only did print only, and they never really They haven't put it on digital yet. But the stuff that I'm reading here and there kind of sounds like either he's being sarcastic or he's really trying to look at it as I'm the one that should be mad because it was my song. He also went on to say that he didn't know Kendrick Lamar was going to do that on the song, which is another bullshit ass move. Look, I'm going to be real with you. It feels like he's trying to keep this relationship with Drake because he wants to continue to make music and get hits. And him and Drake make great music together. I'm not going to take that away from him. But don't play coy, bruh. You knew Metro had a problem. You knew Metro had a problem with Drake. You knew that niggas had a problem with Drake. You knew The Weeknd had a problem with Drake. Again, if you listen to the whole album of We Don't Trust You, which is a shot at Drake, you had a problem with him. Now, what it was, I don't know. Now, they're saying that Metro Boomin actually said some stuff as well, talking about, it's more personal. It's not over a woman or whatever the case may be. So at least Metro Boomin is owning up to that shit. But Future sitting up here talking about he should be mad and he should be considered in the big three. Man, I get it. But don't play this role. Don't play this role and try to be industry friends because Thug is out too. And I think a lot of people expect they let in that he's doing this because of Young Thug being out and them actually making music together. It's I think the track list for Lil Baby's new album has been floating around on the internet, and apparently Future and Young Thug is on that album, which I think is cool, which kind of leads us to believe that he's possibly going to be doing more music with Drake again. These niggas in the industry is so fake and so phony and so full of shit. It is fucking ridiculous. Nigga, just say you don't want to stop doing music with Drake. Just say it. Take the mask off. What did Tyler say? Take your mask off. I think a lot of these people are doubling back now because things have settled down a little bit. And now they're looking at this after the smoke cleared. I think a lot of these people want to get back in good graces with Drake because they know Drake's going to come out in 2025 and drop a fire-ass album. He's going to drop a great album. Now, it is not going to be that Party Next Door bullshit that he's doing. That collab album is going to be trash. I already know that. But in 2025, that new Drake album is going to be good. And I think a lot of people want to ride the gravy train again. If this nigga's being serious about what he's saying, and if he's just like, I didn't know all of this stuff, you are the fakest nigga in the world, bruh. You are terrible. That is a horrible, horrible way to handle yourself. And to be honest with you, man, I just don't think come on. Sit up there and be honest about the whole situation. It's to say, yes, I had a problem with Drake because of X, Y, and Z. I don't know what Future's problem was when he made these albums. We Still Don't Trust You. We Still Don't Trust You still takes shots at Drake as well. He had been taking shots at Drake for 2 albums straight. And you mean to tell me you didn't know nothing about a beef or you was chill on it? That's not what you do? Man, please. Get off of your high horse. Admit to everybody that you still want to make music with Drake. You still want to be on the Drake gravy train. And go forward with it and kind of just live. This bullshit that you're doing through GQ is hilarious and stupid and it's phony. You industry niggas and y'all phony bullshit, man. Y'all be doing the most. Y'all be doing way too much. I'm going to put a pin in this because I want to see what else comes from this interview. I want to read the full interview to give my full opinion about it. But this shit floating around, y'all niggas are hilarious. Finally, before I get off, man, before I leave this episode, let me just talk about Inevitable with J. Cole. I went ahead and purchased the full episodes. It only cost like $10 to get the full series, and I wanted to hear this. If you know me, I'm a big fan of documentaries. I'm a big fan of like hearing artist stories and stuff like that, which I felt like I knew a lot about J. Cole, seeing that I started off when I listened to him, I started off from the very beginning, listen to like from the jump. And let me just say this, I'm happy to hear that J. Cole is doing this series to learn more about it. The first episode was great. Learning about him, why he came to New York, was so cool. I think the fact that we learned about how him and E became friends, I thought that was a great moment in the show or the podcast. But yeah, I might as well call it a podcast. And him, the inspiration, knowing that Kanye was a big inspiration for him to be the type of rapper he is, which is talking about real shit with like life, like what's going on in real life, even though he has some cringe raps. I thought that was really good too. It's rumored that he's supposed to be doing, he might put out like the warm up and Friday Night Lights on specific episodes of Inevitable, put them out on DSPs, which if he does that, I think that's like a great move. But I've listened to it so far. I think the second episode is out, and I really enjoy this. I like the fact also that we're having artists take control of their story, and two, their content, and bypassing the middleman, which is like labels or, I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, which I dug a little bit, but not deep enough. But if I'm not mistaken, this is like direct to consumer. This is J. Cole, his manager, and another party who's actually just doing this direct to consumer. He actually set up a website where it's a chat there if you want to chat about the episodes. Everything is like ground level and basic, but still really cool. So I just wanted to talk. I just want to give you guys a heads up and say, if you haven't listened to Inevitable yet, and you enjoy listening to the stories of like certain artists, man, give it a shot, man, because it's actually really good. I can't wait to dig into the second episode, and I can't wait to see if he actually drops his other mixtapes on DSPs with specific episodes. I just really felt like putting out the come up on the first episode was perfect. Like everything just worked, and it just kind of goes to show that Cole knows his audience. J. Cole knows how to do this shit the right way, and this is just another thing that makes me like J. Cole being a part of the culture, or being an artist that we don't give enough credit to for what he does, and it just goes to show that he's one of those people who care about what we as consumers like. I can't wait to listen to the next 10 episodes of Inevitable. I love the story. I love where he's going with this, and I'm just ready to get more of it. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you check it out. What's the web? I think it's on his website. I'll put the link in my description if you want to go click on it and check out. But it's 10 episodes. So it's $1 episode. Completely worth it. Completely worth it. That's all I got, man. I got nothing else. Short, sweet, to the point. Thank you guys for helping me grow my channel, man. We're trying to get to 500. I'm just trying to get to 500 subs. We got to make it to 500 before the year's over with. So make sure you're sharing this with somebody if you enjoy the content, and let people know that this is where you're getting real hip hop opinions right here on the STEM Society. Just subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you guys are hitting the notifications and give me comments. I love being able to have comments on my videos, because that means that we're interacting, we're engaging, and that means we're growing as a community. So with that being said, man, I will catch you guys next episode. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.